Good evening and welcome to the Freak Show. 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks.
I'm a dancing bear.
You're something. That's all I'm going to say, Scott. Yeah. Someone's got to keep this show on the road, and I guess it's going to be me tonight because the other three here have decided to have dressed up for Halloween. I'm cheap and don't have a costume, so I am what I am.
Didn't see you there. Hope you guys are having a great day. Just painted some trees. Nice little landscape. I'm inspired by the bear I see on this screen. I'm gonna paint a little bear.
That's too dang hot.
That's a very fair question and probably the question of the night. What did I just turn on? Yeah, I don't know. I'm as confused as you might be, if not more so. Well, here we are. Final week of the regular season. 2 nights of games coming for you this week, tomorrow night and Friday night around the area. Actually, a more loaded schedule tomorrow than Friday, which is a little surprising, but that's kind of the way the schedule's fallen this year, guys.
Yeah, I found it kind of odd, but I guess everybody wants. They're still kids, man. They're wanting to get their trick or treating on.
Yeah, it's just unbalanced. That's the problem. Yeah. I get it to an extent, but like Thursday is now Friday, and there's just not a whole lot of games Friday, which it is what it is, but it's just not balanced.
Well, let me ask you a question. Chris. What do you think? Do you think it's a trying to avoid distraction if you were a coach trying to schedule it this way?
I think it's a gate thing.
I don't know. I mean, the whole concept behind splitting up week 11 was to have full officiating crews for every game and the best crews working the best games. And now we've gone too far. It's lopsided to Thursday. And I get that schools might want to avoid playing a Halloween, but at some point you got to suck it up. We don't have this every year, but Halloween was on Thursday last year. It's on Friday this year. We're not going to have this problem for another 4 years. So, so
you think it's a classic overcorrection?
I think it is. It's 100% what I think it is.
Okay.
So we just gone a little too far with the whole concept was to have enough officials to have full crews for every game. And we're probably going to have that, but now Thursday night is the more important night of the two.
Yeah, it's just how it shakes out. It's definitely unfortunate that the majority of the more, there's still important games on Friday, but most of the big games that everybody have been looking forward to this season is on Thursday, and it definitely makes it tougher from a coverage standpoint for us because Thursdays are harder for us to get out to than Fridays, but we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. We have our plans for the week already set, and we'll talk about a lot of that stuff a little later on. If you're watching the scroll on the bottom of the screen also, too, it's very important to note. Saturday morning, the 615 Prep Scoreboard is going an hour earlier at 8 o'clock because we've got a lot to talk about, and we can't run late on Saturday. So we're going to start early and make sure that you're on time for that and join us Saturday. But let's get started tonight, shall we? And we'll start with those rankings, Joe, and a couple of newbies back in the top 5 here in the large class.
Yeah, Blackman's just kind of been taking care of business for a little while now. Some teams ahead of them needed to lose. That happened last week. So, and Green Hill kind of the same way. They've won 6 straight games since those back-to-back losses to Ravenwood and Page, and looking really good. Blackman kind of got to give them the nod. I know they got tested by Siegel last week, but the Blaze have looked really good overall.
Yeah, and then the top 3 remain unchanged: Oakland, BA, and Ravenwood. They've been that way for a little while now.
Yeah.
I don't think you can argue those 3 right now being the top in our area.
Correct.
Medium class is Page, FRA, BGA, Beach, Pearl Cone. Same cast of characters we've seen for a bit.
Yeah, remains unchanged. Springfield's right there at 6, hovering right below Pearl. Pearl's got the head-to-head win, and then the rest of the teams, they just kind of been doing what they've been doing. Could make the argument maybe BGA is still the top team in the medium class, but FRA spoiled that a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazing what one bad half of football will do.
Mm-hmm.
Way the small class looks, it's Nashville Christian, East Robertson, Gordonsville, Friendship Christian, East Nashville in that order.
Yeah, again, remains unchanged. All these teams have been taking care of business. However, East Nashville, East Robertson, we'll get to that one here in a little bit. That could shake some things up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious though. With the small class, 2 of our top games this week come out of this side of the area, with Nashville Christian and Friendship Christian scoring off Friday night, and then East Robertson and East Nashville on Thursday. So really, our attention turns to these 5 this week to see how they'll shake out.
Mm-hmm. And everybody says I hate small schools.
You do. He knows he didn't deny that.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is at this point. Let's go ahead and dive into the 3 stars of the week, shall we? Voting open for the Week 10 3 stars of the week poll now at 615preps.com. We'll get to those finalists in just a moment. The Week 9 3 stars are as follows. It's Cannon County's Jaden Shannon getting first star honors this week, with Stewart's Creek Sambello as second star and Tate Rumney from Hendersonville with the 3rd star for week number 9. So congratulations to those 3 young men.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Now on to this week's finalists. There are 9 of them. Tyler Bomberosen from Blackman made all 3 field goals, 25, 32, and 43 yards, and went 4 for 4 in extra points as they beat Siegel 37-31. Rare that we have a kicker on the list, but his points were important. That's why he got here.
You love to see it.
East Nashville's Dallas Covington, 7-7 passing for 187 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also had a 33-yard touchdown run in the Eagles' 55-0 win over Houston County. Kanan Burrows for Green Hill, 8 of 16 passing, 191 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 carries, 41 yards, and a score. They beat Wilson Central 42-13. Davidson Academy's Rich Holman, 13-17 for 214 yards, 4 touchdowns. They shut out Columbia Academy 38-0. Cruz Jenkins from Brentwood Academy, 12-17 through the air, 219 yards, 4 touchdowns. That win over Father Ryan 49-7. Eagles Jonathan Jordan, 18 carries, 235 yards, 3 touchdowns as they shut out Zion Christian 32-0. Cameron Cruzy from Page, 7-11 passing, 181 yards and 4 touchdowns in that 48-0 win over Hillsboro. Caden Marable, BGA, he's here every week, 17-20 passing, 282 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 carries for 58 yards in their 56-14 win over Good Pasture. And Beach's Caden Powell, 6 of 11 through the air, 145 yards and a touchdown, 8 carries, 57 yards, and 3 scores as they beat Portland 41-7. Anybody else stand up to you guys out of that group other than Caden Marable's 8th appearance of the year?
Kicker. I'm all about kickers showing out. Tyler had a great week for Blackman. And really, if you look at the score, those field goals were massive. Siegel gave them all they can handle, and they won by what, 8, 9, 6, something?
6.
Yeah. 6.
Math is hard. So love seeing a kicker on here. And, admittedly, I hope he ends up being a star of the week.
There you go.
That's it. Joe hates small schools, loves special teamers.
Kickers matter, man.
It's just because he's special.
Yeah. Well, I think we ought to rename this the Caden Marable annual 3 stars of the week. I mean, he's been on here every week except one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he certainly earned a spot. Let's talk line of the week real quick. Cam, unless you got anything else, Cam.
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's talk line of the week. Page's defense gets it this week, Scott.
Yeah, held Hillsboro to 48 yards of total offense, -11 rushing. That is a massive, massive defensive line there. Nobody does the trench work like Page, and their defense really showed out this week. 48-0 shutout win. What can you say? I mean, they got out there and they got after it, and they just keep rolling.
Yep. Congratulations to the Patriot defense and the 3 stars of the week from week 10. Those awards this week, again, voting right now for this week's finalist at 615preps.com. You can vote until noon on Friday to determine the 3 stars that we will announce on this show next week. Talk about our presenting sponsor. AccuWorks is a full-service property damage restoration company that offers around-the-clock emergency service 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the past 20 years in Middle Tennessee. Jeff Stockton and his team of industry veterans specialize in restoration projects for your home or business, fire restoration, smoke cleaning, water damage, and mold remediation, storm damage restoration, general contracting, and much more. Our commitment is to assess each situation quickly and correctly to provide you the most efficient and complete restoration plan that meets your specific needs. AccuWorks performs emergency service and restoration for property owners across Middle Tennessee, with locations in Nashville and near you. Our professional staff are minutes away from helping with your property damage emergency. Quality work, professionalism, and integrity have been the backbone of our company since 2006. Call us now at 615-292-2009 or toll free 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. All right. We're going to do this a little bit differently than we normally do. We've got a lot of playoff stuff to talk about, so we're going to go and talk about these brackets right now. We'll start in 1A, guys, and not a lot, nothing on this half, but it's settled at this point. A lot to maybe shuffle around here in the next couple of days.
Yeah,
Is that Hampton at the top?
Yeah,
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you small ball knowers talk about this. I don't know anything.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you look at our area teams, Joe Burns gets a rematch with Whitwell, a game that was played last weekend. So 2 weeks in between. That's kind of a odd setup for them. Rebel and Springs here is slated as the 4. They would finish as the 3 if they were able to beat Innovation Academy Friday night. So don't really think that it matters. South Pittsburgh's been kind of just pounding on people. And then they're technically, we don't really cover them, but there's a smidge of their county that's in our zone, and that's Clay County. Clay County has locked up that region. They should have a decent path here to get to South Pitt in the quarters. So,
well, actually, Clay County hasn't locked it up. It's Clay County and Joe Burns for 1 this week. The winner gets the 1 seed.
Fair enough.
It's cut and dried in that. It's cut and dried in that region, though, with Clay County and Joe Burns for 1st and 2nd, and then Innovation Academy, Rippling Springs for 3 and 4, just depending on how those games shake out. So,
and that would be Joe Burns and Whitwell in meeting 2 weeks apart. If it stays like this,
correct. And this is the team that's seeing this potential bracket and really is somewhat okay with it is Cofield. Cofield, in my opinion, has a decent shot to at least get to Hampton in the quarters and probably be favored in that game, and then they would actually host the semi as well.
I almost asked a really dumb question. I was like, "Where's Gordonsville at?" Forgot they were up in 2A now.
Yeah, we'll get to them. We'll get to them in a bit.
So used to seeing Gordonsville down in facing South Pitt in the second round.
Yeah, because I mean they've played in the playoffs for like 87 straight years, so it's a little surprising to not see that.
Scott remembers the first matchup.
Yeah.
I wasn't down here then.
The western half of 1A does have a couple of spots that have been locked up. Huntland's the 4th seed out of Region 5. Dresden has Region 7 locked up, and then Memphis Middle College Region 8 champions there. Eagleville is the one that's the one we're going to try to look at. They're currently 2nd in Region 5. They do have a path to the region title if they win, first off, and if Moore County wins.
Yeah, I like that draw a lot for Eagleville. I know Middle College is having a great year, but you got to think Eagleville's their boogeyman the last couple of years has been McKenzie. They're on the opposite side. So Eagleville's got a good shot to make a good little run as long as they play consistent football, which has been hit or miss at times.
Yeah, this is definitely a good draw for Eagleville if this is what happens. If Eagleville was to lose to Fayetteville, though, they would. I think they would drop to the 3.
They would.
So that would put them. Trying to find it here.
Is it behind the 5?
No, it's
No,
at the very bottom. It's at the very
bottom.
bottom, so they would stay on the same
Oh,
side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're pretty much locked into a pretty decent draw here, barring anything crazy happening out west. I'm not sure if McKenzie's already locked up that region yet or not.
Not yet.
No, yeah, they're currently in first. Let's see, McKenzie would actually be. We'll take a look at that real quick. McKenzie with a win would do it though. Either them or McEwen, that would have that region title out there. Let's go to a eastern half there, and a few spots already locked up there. We'll look at Gordonsville as we mentioned. Right now, they're in the driver's seat in Region 4. They would host York Institute.
Yeah. So just real quick, I was looking at this a little bit today. Region 4 is locked. There's no seed changes there. There could be a 3-way tiebreaker, but the tiebreaker breaks down the same way as it is right now. So Region 4 is a lock. Gordonsville has won that region. Cannon County will finish second, and Smith County will finish third, regardless of what happens Friday night.
Wow.
Well, if that is the case, and I am looking at TWSW website right now, there's a path for Smith County to win it.
How?
If Trousdale County and Smith County both win. Because that would
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
Right. But I mean,
I'll tell you really.
But we got to talk about. You got to talk about all the scenarios, though.
the possibility is actually there. And
Yeah.
because right now that would create a 3-way tie between Gordonsville, Cannon, and Smith.
Cam's just making me sad.
Hold on. Did you just say that would force a 3-way tie?
If Smith County beats Gordonsville, oh no, it would actually be Smith County and Gordonsville. No 3-way tie. Be head to head. Cannon County would have lost. They'd be in third place.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I've looked at too much of this stuff over the last 2 weeks.
I think we both have. Honestly, it's been it's been like assigned reading in school. I kind of didn't like it, so that's where we are. But we look at the rest of this bracket, though. I mean, there's a lot of spots that are already locked up here. If Gordonsville does finish as the 1, you got to kind of like this for them too.
I don't think so, honestly.
I was about to say I hate that they're on the same side as Marion County.
Marion County is a semifinal game or a quarterfinal game. Excuse me.
It's a quarterfinal game, but it is the semifinal game. I'm sorry, everybody on the top half. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
That top half is wide open, and I'm looking at a team right now that they've had a couple of head scratchers, but other than that, their schedule has kind of been a little soft, but they've handled business and then some. They have what should be a Mr. Football, at least a final semifinalist in Eli Garrett, but Cannon County can run the table right there.
Yeah, they can.
I'll answer this real quick. We have not gotten to 5A yet. We're not going to get there for a little while. We're starting in 2A and working our way up. So be a little bit before we
we're
get to
getting
5A.
there.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. So just sit tight.
Yeah. Get you a warm beverage.
Yeah. Western half of 2A, which, East Robertson, East Nashville, we're looking at those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're looking at those two, but my God, Region 7.
It's a mess.
It's a mess and it's loaded.
Yeah, the winner for East Nashville, East Robertson on Friday is set up in a real pretty position. The loser, that road, you got to look at. I mean, Milan's good. JCM's had a pretty good year. Adamsville's pretty good, which I don't know if any of those teams will make it just because that region's a mess. So, but Mesa at the top half of the bracket, that's tough too. So this is one of the better brackets we've seen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
There'll be some good football on this.
Meanwhile, the eastern side of the bracket, it's not quite this.
It's a little light for sure on the eastern side. We got to be nice, Joe. We got to be nice. Now the West Tennessee side is definitely more loaded, and that's why you saw some teams when the classifications and the regions came out were frustrated, and rightfully so, because this West side not only it's a little bit of a head scratcher also when there's a couple teams on the eastern side that are more centrally located than some teams that are on the west side that got pushed west. And I understand the frustration with that. Unfortunately, you're dealt the hand that you get, and you got to play the cards. And so far, that a couple of those teams have played those cards very, very well, and they're in a good spot to at least make a run at this thing. And in this case, I'm looking at East Robertson. East Robertson's got. It's not an easy path by no means, but they're on the other side of Milan, and they would host Milan in the semifinal if this were to hold. So that would be a great scene in Cross Plains.
Yeah, that Region 7. I mean, Milan's in first, but Peabody and Huntington also have a stake to the number 1 seed if things break their way.
Oh, for sure.
That's definitely chaos in that region.
Yeah.
Take a look at 3A on the eastern half of that bracket. Our only area team of note is Watertown. Right now, they're the 2nd seed out of Region 4.
Did he freeze? Did I freeze?
No.
No, you're still
Not
with
that I
us.
can tell.
You guys froze for me.
How did we freeze? All I can see is the screen.
We froze a long time ago because he's had the brackets up for a while.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we were talking about 3A, and all of a sudden, Chris just froze for me. So
I shut up, so I mean that may be what it was.
yeah, we don't even see. I don't see nobody's camera. I just see the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's by design.
Anywho, no Alcoa. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the big thing. This is going to be fun. A couple teams that have ran into big bad Alcoa that have had. I'll be honest with you, they probably had some state championship caliber football teams that just ran into Alcoa. I'm talking about Gatlinburg Pittman mainly. They've had some very talented teams. You got Meigs County right back in the conversation again after a couple of not down years, but not state championship caliber years. And then Tyner is absolutely loaded with athletes. They're loaded with young athletes. They're going to be around for the next couple of years. And they gave National Christian all they wanted, and I think National Christian is probably the best team in D2 single A, double A, triple A. So as far as public schools, so I think they could win all of those state championships if they were in that classification.
And how big is that Watertown Forest game this week? Because you look at the loser of that. Get Tyner.
No,
Probably. I actually think it depends on what happens in that Giles County Sequatchie game.
Right.
Because Watertown has the tiebreaker over Giles. If Sequatchie beats Giles and Watertown loses, Watertown would be the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have the head-to-head over Giles. Then it would be Giles County Tyner in round 1, which is wild.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of intrigue in a couple of games in this region.
Yeah, that region's still got a lot to shake out. And honestly, it's going to be 2 really good football games on this week. I'm not going to say Friday because I don't know what day the games are, but
Look at the western half and how that's going to shake out. A few more of our area teams are of note here. Do want to note there that the Maplewood Stratford, both teams are in the playoffs over Whites Creek. That's why Whites Creek's not being shown here. Even though Whites Creek technically is number 3 in that region right now, they're not going to finish there.
No.
Nope. And that's a game. The way this one shakes out for the I think it's no matter what at this point now. Westmoreland White House Heritage is a region championship game.
It is.
So the loser's the 2, and then the winner of Maplewood is Stratford is the 3. The loser's the 4.
Yep. That's
pretty
exactly
straightforward for our area teams here.
Yeah, almost as clean as you can get for week 11.
Then you got another region championship being decided between Waverly and Fairview.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that game, they get whoever wins that game gets to avoid Westview, right? Or will they be on the op? No. They play them in the next round. Oh God.
Well, hold on. This is off of TWSAA's stuff, correct, Chris?
It is, yes.
So in my stuff,
which is official.
It's official as of now, but I have what's actually going to happen. And Westview is going to finish as the 1, and Covington's going to finish as the 2. Calling it there, I'll eat the crow if a miracle happens. But so you would have Covington up top there. So the winner of that Waverly and Fairview game is definitely going to be on the better side than having to play Westview in the quarters.
Yeah,
potentially, if they were to get there.
Yeah. And then we'll go circle back to the Sycamore White House Heritage right now. It's the first round matchup that based on current seeding. So that would be
and that's another rematch of last week. Sycamore won that game 16-13. Would be another really tough, low scoring game. There's, we questioned it going into the Whites Creek game, but it's pretty clear at this point. White House Heritage is going to play that brand of football, which is totally different than what it was last year for them. They're going to try to score 20 points and beat you. That's what they're going to try to do, and they've been able to do it more than they've not been able to do it this year. So that speaks to what they have going on over there. And then, you look at Waverly Fairview is very enticing. That Fairview team's got a head scratcher loss a little bit to Sycamore. Chris, you were there to see that one.
Yep.
But other than that Fairview team's played pretty well.
Yeah, that's they've been playing very well since that loss at Sycamore, and they put themselves in position to take that 1 seat. But Waverly really good this year too, and then have kind of come out of no. To answer that question, no, they are eliminated from playoff contention. The teams below them have both beat them head to head, so no matter what happens in that Stratford Maplewood game, both of those teams are going to be in the postseason.
And the biggest thing there, the Whites Creek lost to Maplewood and Stratford. Westmoreland has already beaten both of those teams, which is why Westmoreland. That's why Whites Creek's eliminated. Essentially, that's the one region win that Whites Creek has is Westmoreland, and Westmoreland already has 2 region wins. So even there was no way for that to be a tiebreaker at this point.
Right, and Whites Creek is done with region play anyway. They don't have a region game this week, so they can't improve anyway.
Correct.
All right, let's go to 4A and look at this side of the bracket, the one where Alcoa is this time.
Yeah, I mean, an Alcoa Greenville matchup in the semis would feed families for decades.
Well, the way it shakes out, not surprised at all at this, but Alcoa on that upper half, as of right now, as this stands, Greenville Elizabethton, I believe, are playing in a de facto region championship game.
Yep.
So if it was to fall like this, and Elizabethton did win that game, Alcoa avoids playing Upperman, Anderson County, or Greenville until the semis, and they get to host the game. It is what it is.
And they only have to worry about one of them.
Yeah, instead of having to beat, at least in Upperman's case, you're going to have to beat all 3. You'd have to beat, Anderson County potentially, then Greenville, and then knock off Alcoa to get to go back to the state championship game.
It seems like this side of the bracket is shaping up to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Outside of Alcoa.
And then you got, of course, all things considered, Macon County sees their old friend Red Bank.
Yeah, I believe this will be the 3rd straight year they've played them too, and it looks like Macon County's locked in. Red Bank looks like they're going to take that region as well. So
yeah, I think that's right. Joe, you probably can attest to this, I know you've seen them as well, but I think the team on this half that you can't overlook, Anderson County was the team that everybody talked about in the preseason, but Anderson County's had some injuries this season. It's kind of derailed them a little bit. Greenville is the team to watch here.
Yeah, Greenville had Sevier County beat.
They had Sevier County beat. I think they are familiar enough with the hype around Alcoa. That the hype around Alcoa beats more teams than Alcoa does. At least that's my opinion. Teams go into that game expecting to lose, not expecting to compete. And Greenville's not one of those teams. They actually, I believe, last year had a very, very close game going with Alcoa that was canceled at halftime because of the weather.
Correct.
So that could be a very, very interesting semifinal if it were to stay like this, or if Greenville beats Elizabethton, a quarterfinal matchup.
Mm-hmm.
All those years, and they gave Mr. Football to the wrong person. Should have given it to Alcoa Hype.
Oh, the West
150 yards rushing for Alcoa Hype.
The western half of 4A. There's a couple of matchups that are locked in, or one matchup locked in. Pro Cone's going to host Battle Creek next week in round 1. Liberty Creek's the 4 out of Region 6, and then a couple of others toward the west half of the state, and then a lot that's still up for grabs.
Yeah, that Region 7 outside of South Gibson's fairly interesting still. I think a couple teams still have a shot.
You just say fairly interesting, Bubba. Like last week, 5 of their teams were 3-2.
Hey,
how are you supposed to do 5-way tiebreakers?
I was gonna let you talk about that, and
I'm not. I'm not.
So if you're a Springfield fan, for instance, and me, who will be traveling for whatever second round game they play, as long as they take care of business in the first round, you're hoping and praying that Region 7 4A or Region 7 4th seed beats Haywood, because then you host in the second round instead of traveling out to Brownsville. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's all Cam thinking. So
you did see me thinking. I was like,
Cam,
yeah.
I've done extensive research on this because I don't want to drive out to Brownsville.
Ulterior motives at play, obviously. All right, 5A in the East. There's some spots that are already locked up. You've got Sevier County already in theirs. Powell's got theirs. Lawrence County, Tennessee, and Knoxville Central have their spots locked up at this point. None of our area teams are on this side of the bracket, so we won't spend a ton of time on it.
Yeah, just real quickly, that a team to watch, in my opinion, on this side is going to be Knox Central. They're a team that they kind of showed me some glimpses of last year's Sevier County in the fact of they just have won some games in some very odd ways. Like, I won't say lucky, just, the ball just bouncing their way, essentially. They're a team to watch for sure. And then, of course, Sevier County is still Sevier County.
That opening game for Sevier County could be a decent game. Knox West.
To the western half of the bracket, it is all up for grabs. I know we did have a question about. Let's see if Hendersonville would be the 2 if they beat Beach and Station Camp beats Portland. Yes, Hendersonville, if they beat Beach and Station Camp beats Portland, would be the 1.
Like that, we're going over hypotheticals.
Yeah, but that would be
talking about the Station Camp region, right?
Mm-hmm. Region 6.
Hendersonville beats Beach,
and Station Camp beats Portland. It's Hendersonville, Beach, Station Camp, Portland in that order.
Okay.
However, if Portland wins, the Beach Hendersonville game does not matter.
If Portland wins, Portland's the 2, Beach is the 1.
Yes. Yep. Hendersonville's the 3, Station Camp's the 4.
Yep. Okay. And Region 5, Nolensville Page is a region championship game.
Yep.
And then
Lawson and Centennial right now hold those spots, but there is a backdoor for Hillsborough to get in. But it's going to require Hillsborough beating Centennial.
Well, I know that. Because then it would go, okay, yeah. Both of them would only have one region win, and Hillsborough would have the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Because Lawson plays a non-region game against, I believe it's Lawrence County. Lawrence County this week. Yeah.
However, guys.
Lawrence County, since they follow our content, evidently.
Yeah, they hate Cam.
Called me by my full name.
Yeah, Cameron. Our guys, the football gods, if they're kind to us, quarterfinals, Beach Page. Please.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
I'm sorry, everybody on Shackle Island. I know you want to win the region championship, but politely, I'm going to say, piss on that. Give me Beach and Page in the semis.
Yeah, but that would involve.
What would it involve? That would a little bit tougher road for Beach, but
But that would involve them losing to the team they hate more than life itself.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
that's not. Yeah.
just do it for us.
Yeah, we matter more. Not your
Yeah.
rival.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
not
right.
any momentum you might have.
Yeah. On to 6A with the Eastern half. Green Hills got their region championship. They're the only one in this half that's locked into their current seed. A lot can still go down next 2 days.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oakland
yeah.
Marable playing before the semis feels criminal.
It's not right.
And it's going to be interesting to
It
see
feels
if it
dirty.
It's going to be interesting to see if it happens. It really is, because Oak Ridge Maryville play for their region championship this week, and if they're on that top half, a game that we've already got circled as potentially is Lebanon Riverdale, and then the winner of that one gets to go to Maryville or Oak Ridge. It don't really matter, but if it is Maryville, golly, that's enticing. I'll tell you, a team that this shakes up well for is Blackman. They would be able to avoid. So the question here, since the top half host, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So if it's Blackman and say Maryville in the quarters, Blackman's a 2 seed. So would they have to go to Maryville still, or would Blackman host it? Since they're on the top half.
If they're the same seed, the top line hosts. If they're not in the same region.
So it doesn't matter what seed they are. It just matters if they're in the same region, then it determines by the seed, right?
Right.
So Blackman would host that game then.
Mm-hmm.
So Blackman could potentially beat Gallatin, talking hypothetical here. Beat Gallatin, go to Dobbins Bennett probably. If they were to win that game, then they would host Maryville in the quarters. And then potentially, if it was Oakland on the bottom half, it would fall back to the region standings, which would give Oakland the home game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Seeding only matters if they're in the same region. The way this shakes out, just because. Well, if the seeds in the second round actually would go, the higher seed would host in the second round too. But they're not in the same region at that point.
Very, very interesting.
Still, this new bracket is definitely giving some new dynamics to how we're thinking about the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Our matchups are very interesting.
Considering now that an entire region could be in the quarterfinals together, as opposed to last year when they could only get to the second round together.
Well, as long as they're the better teams,
Yeah.
Yep.
The Western half, Clarksville's got their spot locked up. So does Shelbyville. Everything else could still jostle around this week.
Yeah, Brentwood Ravenwood's a region title game. Antioch in a must-win situation this week against Rossview. And then Southwind's just kind of doing what Southwind's done all year.
Yeah, you look at that Antioch Rossview game real quick, and if Rossview was to pull that off, you'd be looking potentially at Antioch Brentwood round one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I love where Ravenwood's at. I think the Raptors are the overwhelming favorite in the top half of that bracket. They get to avoid Southwind until the semis and Antioch until the semis potentially. I really like where Ravenwood's at.
Yep.
Yeah, that second round game could potentially be interesting for them. I think that Germantown team is very talented. I don't think Houston's near to the level that they have been the last couple of years, but Germantown is a very talented team, and I believe that their loss to Southwind, or have they not played Southwind yet?
I don't think they played them.
I think they played this week. I think they lost to Mumford last week by 5. I think is the game that I'm thinking of.
That's a good Mumford.
Yeah, you're losing to probably the top 5A team out, definitely the top 5A team out of Memphis, an undefeated Mumford team that has a freakish running back himself. So that's a tricky matchup for Ravenwood, but you get past that game, I think you walk through the quarter, in my opinion.
have lost to DeSoto, Central, and Mississippi, and then Mumford last week. Germantown House. So.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
yeah,
let's-
Southwind Antioch.
Mm.
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 If only we either had more people or got off work at noon to go to Memphis to see that one, because that one's going to be, that could be another FRA type game, man. That could be 63-62.
All right, let's look at the D2 single A and how that shakes out right now. The 3 region champions are going to get first round buys. They have not been determined yet. Providence Christian and Middle Tennessee Christian will get one of those out of the East region. It's Nashville Christian or Friendship Christian out of the middle, and then USJ is number 1 out of the West at the moment. But Trinity Christian, I believe, is the other team that could get that.
Yeah, I believe so. So.
Yeah, USJ could actually get first. Trinity, I don't think can.
That'd be something for Providence Christian to get that first seed this year. They're playing really well.
USJ and Jackson Christian play Friday night. So,
Yep. Look at this bracket. I mean, is there somebody that jumps out at you if it was to stay like this that you think is?
I'm not trying to be mean, but no.
I'll be straight up honest with you, and I'm sure they may use it as bulletin board material. Nobody's staying within 21.
Obviously not.
If that's
Not
what your
me.
question is.
No, I mean, actually, I should have rephrased it. Other than Nashville Christian,
I mean, Friendship Christian is very enticing. I think we'll get a good idea just how good that team is this week. I would favor them over a Providence, not by much so. And then USJ, it's hard to figure out the West Tennessee teams right now because you look at the strength of schedule. They're not really beating anybody. They did both them and USJ did beat up on DCA week 2, but you look at the rest of their record, it's not great.
Well, let me ask you this. All right, you take Nashville Christian out of this. Take Nashville Christian out of this. Okay, they moved them up to AA.
Yep.
Who in this region is your number 1?
Friendship.
In this side.
No, you mean like who would be the favorite to win it?
Who would be the favorite to win it out of this? If you lift Nashville Christian out
Friendship and Jackson Christian and Trinity Christian and USJ, they're all about the same. Friendship and those 3 West Tennessee teams are all about the same. Jackson Christian is probably the 4 out of those 4. And then TCA and USJ and Friendship are all really close.
Yeah, I mean, USJ beat TCA by 2. I believe Jackson Christian beat TCA by 3. Like, it's all very close. And those 3 teams, let me tell you, they hate each other.
which tells you all you need to know about Nashville Christian.
Yep.
Look at the AA bracket, and no seats are locked up in the middle region just yet, although FRA is pretty much in the driver's seat for that. They would need some stuff to happen to get knocked out of first.
You got to think that FRA heavy favorite to come out of the top half of the bracket. Meanwhile, BGA, you're going against Knox Grace. You're going against Boyd Buchanan. That's a brutal road to go, but are any of us actually going to not pick BGA in any of those games?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
I don't
Probably
think
not.
They, like we said, aside from one bad half of football, they have dominated. So it's kind of hard to pick against BJ at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that Boyd Buchanan game.
Go back, Chris. I tell you another one that we could definitely see, guys. I think we could see FRA Good Pasture in the quarters there, or that would actually be a semi, yeah.
Somebody asked on Instagram if Cane Ridge beats Clarksville, it wouldn't help Antioch out. No, Cane Ridge.
No.
Clarksville's already.
Both would still have one region loss, and Clarksville has the head-to-head. Wouldn't matter.
Yep. Let's see. Good Pasture FRA would indeed be a semifinal.
That would be very intriguing.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I mean, Lausanne too for BGA on that side of the bracket. That side is
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, that's loaded.
AAA, Baylor, and Ensworth have got their first round buys locked up.
We're not gonna have an Chattanooga final, guys.
Nope.
Thank you, Ensworth.
Currently, Brentwood Academy at number 1 out of the West, they would have a first round bye as well. Also, Briarcrest Christian as the 2 would also advance to the second round.
And I believe Macaulay can't finish worse than third. Yeah,
Correct.
I believe that's the way they can finish second. I believe that, right?
There is a spot for Macaulay to be the 4, but it requires CPA and Baylor winning.
Oh Lord.
Can Smyrna still make the playoffs? Somebody asked.
Yes, they can. Yeah, if they beat Stewart's Creek and Rockville loses, Smyrna's in.
It would be a 3-way tiebreaker at that point. Yeah.
Admittedly, yeah, I believe so. Admittedly, I hope this bracket pans out for the simple fact I think NBA would beat MUS, and then we get NBA and Brentwood Academy because the football season to me does not feel right if those two teams do not play. The fact that they're not on the schedule for each other is
Well, though that whole bottom half for us could shape up beautifully. Like you got CPA Lipscomb round 1. The winner of that one gets Ensworth in round 2. Then if NBA does win that game, it's NBA Brentwood Academy. That's all us lower half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we come on, just do the job. Take out MUS NBA.
To circle back real quick to the Smyrna thing, if Siegel were to beat Laverne, it would create a 3-way tie. Smyrna would get the tiebreaker on overall wins. If Siegel loses, Smyrna gets the tiebreaker on head-to-head over Rockville.
Right.
So in this particular case, if the seeds hold and we get Ensworth, BA in the semis, is the game back at Ensworth again?
I believe so.
If it is, I believe it's right.
Because they're on the top half.
Matt, I'm sorry to say this to you. No.
Matt, all you got to do is keep hanging 50 and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I believe that's right. I believe it would be back at Ensworth if that was the case.
It wouldn't be at BA despite them being the 1?
Oh wait, no. No, BA would host. BA would host.
Yeah.
But they're in different regions though.
The division 2 brackets do not work like division 1 brackets do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't.
Fair enough.
They don't.
Yep.
They don't. It's seating. It's seating on these.
Okay.
It's seating on these. It's a little different with these. So BA would have home field advantage throughout the postseason.
So let's see what. Real quick, we got the 7th is round 1.
Let's see. Let's
14th, the 21st. If anybody is free the weekend of the 21st, between that potential semifinal game and all those quarterfinal matchups, gonna be rough.
Could be. Jonathan asked, could Heritage avoid Westview?
Well, let's take a look.
Let's go back to that. Let's see. It'd be right here.
Okay.
Yes. Westview beats Covington. You avoid Westview until the semis.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Westview beats Covington and you beat Westmoreland.
Right. Both things need to be true. Both things need to be true.
Yeah. Right.
Or the opposite. You lose to Westmoreland and Westview loses to Covington.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the other side too.
Yep. All right. Let's take a quick timeout and talk about AccuWorks. Water damage. It can be as small as leaking faucet or as catastrophic as a flood. Regardless of the source, water damage wreaks havoc on your home or business's walls, floors, and furniture and can lead to mold and other health risks. AccuWorks can start water damage restoration services immediately, removing all potential risks and restoring the affected areas. The experts at AccuWorks will determine the extent of the water damage in your property. We can handle any size of water breach, from a small plumbing malfunction to a major sewage backup or storm flooding. AccuWorks conducts natural water removal from your home using the most advanced equipment and techniques in the industry. And once your property is dry again, our restoration and remediation experts can also repair any lasting damage. There's no need to call another contractor for water damage restoration. AccuWorks handles everything from beginning to end. If you're in Nashville, Clarksville, Cookeville, or areas in between, it's time to call the water damage experts at AccuWorks. Call us now at 615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. AccuWorks Restoration, a proud sponsor of Tennessee High School Athletics. We didn't forget about the thing we have to do every week when we mess picks up. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way. I know y'all forgot what our faces looked like. You've been looking at brackets for the last 40 minutes. So here we are.
Cam looks like he's in the road company of Hamilton.
You know, I'm gonna let His Majesty go first, if his will ever come up.
Liberty Creek. So close, but so far away. At least that's my take on you guys this season. I've missed you guys a couple times this season, and it is time to pay the piper. Missed it. It's that simple. Picked Watertown. Watertown's been playing good ball this year. You guys have had a good season, and you've had a freshman step up that has just blown the doors off of everybody that's been able to see him play so far. Unfortunately, we've not been able to see him play so far. We do hope to get out there to him, but look forward to the next 4 years with him as well. So close, so far away. Sorry about it.
I'm so sorry you didn't do that in a French accent.
I can't speak French. I'm a redneck.
Scott, let's see what you had to come up with this week.
Hi, Scott with 615 Preps here. I'm here at Grill on the Hill in Westmoreland, Tennessee. And as you can tell, I was stupid. I picked against Westmoreland and they won. And I should be shamed. I should be purged. I'm here to make amends. So as you can see, I have my dunce cap on. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, Westmoreland. I picked against you. I have a couple of also a thank you to Grill on the Hill for putting up with my shenanigans, and I'm sorry and a thank you to my lovely wife for being incredibly mortified while I did that, but taking the video anyway.
Hey, Bob, are you painting little trees or painting more L's?
Oh,
Hey, didn't see you there. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm just painting a landscape of this imaginary land called Narnia that some redneck named from. Stratford, I didn't believe in you. I'm sorry. Not that you gave me a reason to believe in you since I picked you the week before and you lost, but it is what it is. I'm sorry I didn't pick you last week. That's why I picked you this week. I believe in you. You know what? I'm going to paint you a portrait. If you win, you get it.
Matt's already wanting to. I think bidding starts at $100, Matt.
This thing's itchy. God.
I love that you're committed to the bit.
You did show that.
My cats are terrified.
And for good reason. Oh, goodness. Wasn't a lot of options for me to offer my apology this week, but I'm going to go to Sycamore with this one. That's a team that, quite honestly, has played good ball this year, and for some reason I decided to go against White House Heritage. Yeah, I'm a big dumb idiot. And after seeing you guys in person, I should have known better, but I'm just a washed-up sports writer now who has a podcast, so what do I know? But you guys have certainly turned heads this year with your play, and You deserve to be in the position you're in, and I'm hoping that you guys will carry the momentum into the postseason and do good things. So, not going to sugarcoat it. I'm a big dumb idiot, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Chris, I just wish you weren't so hard on yourself.
I know, right? Yeah. Oh, well, it is what it is. So let's talk about some games for this week. Let's start with the Battle of the Woods, which has quite a bit on the line. 6-6A title at stake. Loser's going to be second. It's as close as you can get without being completely tied. Brentwood leads the all-time series 14-13. Guys, let's break this down for a few minutes.
Yeah, I just think, Ravenwood's had a little bit more of a consistent year. They've had a couple close calls early on. They figured it out. Brentwood, really, really good defensively. They've played well all year defensively, aside from maybe one or two games. But throw all that out the door. This was a rivalry game. We couldn't have Tyson on tonight because he'd say swear words about Brentwood, the kid that doesn't cuss, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this one goes. Cam will be there tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think that the Raptors just did a tremendous job this year with scheduling. They managed to scatter some good competition between region opponents, and the result is a team that's both confident and competent. They've worked their two quarterback scheme to perfection. And really, gone are the days when if Femi's in, it's going to be a pass. If Maverson's going to be run. Both quarterbacks worked really hard to broaden both their games. But yeah, Joe, you're right. Bruins, their defense is very, very good, and they're going to have to find a way to keep this one close. They can't get to the point where they can allow Matthew Anderson and his guys to come, with their ears pinned back. They've got to keep this game close.
Yeah, I agree totally with what you guys have said. Super excited to get out to my first Battle of the Woods. That's kind of a bucket list thing for media members in Middle Tennessee, I would say. So that's super excited to get out there to see that. If you see me, say hi. Don't be mean. If you're mean, so be it. I'll just point you in the direction of Joe. But
I'll give you a bucket.
Yeah, yeah, super excited.
Those two programs, they'll love on you.
Super excited to get out there and hopefully see a good ball game. This is a type, there's several games this week that you're going to probably hear me say this about a couple other games too. This is a rivalry game where you throw the records out. Yes, it means a lot. One team has had a better season than the other. One team has more answers than the other one right now. But at the end of the day, this is Brentwood versus Ravenwood, and the region championship's on the line. And it goes back. It's nowhere near as severe as the miracle speech, but it's pretty close, right? Like, who cares about the last 10 weeks? Where right here we've got a region championship in front of us, and we're playing a team that we do not like. Go win. And that's what it comes down to. I'm excited to. This is the type of environment and game that I look forward to the most and missed the most from when I was in school. So super excited. Should be a good ball game. I think it's one of those type games where it could be closer than most people are thinking.
Chris gives the best "this is our time" speech, and they need to get him out there.
It takes a couple of libations to get that speech going, so that's probably not a good idea.
You play to win the game.
Let's Forest at Watertown. Obviously, yeah, the winner can finish second if Sequatchie County does win, but if Giles County wins, the winner's going to be third, which is important for getting a home playoff game or not. Forest leads the all-time series 11-5. They won this game by 6 in 2024. Just as a little spoiler, we're kind of split on this game.
Yeah, Watertown losing last week really got to me, I think. Just didn't see it happening. They had been playing so well, and then admittedly that result, I was like, what the heck happened? And then Forest, they've got a couple losses to Sequatchie and Giles. Like, they've lost to really good teams. So it's going to be a matter of can can Watertown shut down Forest's run game?
Yeah, Quincy Mitchell. He's not in our area, so he wasn't in the discussion for us for our nominations, but he's probably should definitely be in the conversation and could definitely be a finalist in my opinion. He's probably got over 1,500 yards if I had to guess. He's probably closing in on 2,000 yards on the season.
2,149.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, he's incredible. He's a home run threat every time he touches the ball. Watertown's got to shut him down. If maybe not even shut him down, they got to limit the big play. They can't let him go 50 at a time. They got to let him. If he goes 6, 2, 9, you live with that, right? I know you don't want to be giving up yards, but you live with that. The 50 and 60, he does that 3 times, and you're down 21-0. So I mean, that's the biggest key for Watertown to win the football game. Last week was disappointing and kind of surprising as well, as Joe said, but everything they want still in front of them. They've had a really good year when most people, they were dealt a bad hand. There's no doubt about it. A starting quarterback that you were excited about transfers, 2 months before the season starts, and you kind of got to figure it out. And Coach Webster has done a great job this season in getting his guys prepared to play, and they've had a heck of a season. And they're looking at hosting a playoff game if cards fall right. So they got to come out flush last week, play this week. Don't give up the big play. I think it's going to be another really, really good football game.
Yeah, I've just based on conversations I've had, I don't think that there's I don't think there's a consensus on this game, quite frankly. But Cam, you're right. Quincy Mitchell, he is the offense for Forest. Yeah, like I said, he's got 26 touchdowns. The kid is the offense. He's averaging 238 yards a game. He hasn't had a game of less than 100 yards rushing. I mean, he is their offense. So the key for Watertown, and they do have a better defense, I think, than Forest does. If they can make Forest throw the ball, they've got a chance. But stopping Quincy Mitchell is going to be, or limiting him, is going to be the key. Because if Forest starts to pass, they do have a tendency to turn the ball over. Yeah, it's going to be Garrett. It's going to be Garrett Davis and Quincy Mitchell, and whoever it may be, whoever has the ball last.
On to NBA and Ensworth, where Ensworth has already clinched their number 2 seed out of the East region. NBA is going to be either 4th, 5th, or 6th, depending on the other games this week. Another close one where the all-time series is nearly even. Ensworth leads at 13-12, and they shut out NBA last year.
This is a series where it kind of goes in spurts. One team will have a long winning streak against the other, then the other one gets it going. NBA had won from 2018 to 2022. They won all those matchups. However, Ensworth's won 3 of the last 4, including both matchups last year in blowout fashion. I think NBA is better than they were last year, like significantly better. But you can make the case, Ensworth is just as good as they were last year. We're expecting them all to make a deep postseason run. So another rivalry game where these two teams don't like each other. The student sections will be saying things that we can't repeat on this family-friendly show. And it'll be a really good environment at Ensworth. It always is when these two teams square off against each other.
Yeah, it definitely will be. I think that Ensworth is going to have to stay patient in this game. Offensively, not get in a rush. Don't make the unforced mistakes. They have the speed to take short passing yards and turn them into big hitters. And that's going to be crucial against this NBA defense. Their defense is really, really good. I think getting ahead and forcing the Big Red to play from behind is going to help mitigate that kind of methodical offense that NBA runs. But I think Ensworth will be okay if they don't hurt themselves.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great football game. It's going to be a trench warfare is the best way to put this. Two teams that, are no stranger to lower scoring, knockdown, drag out, physical football games. It's it's going to be an old school type football game. Whoever wins the trenches and whoever wins the turnover battle has definitely got the advantage there.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just looking here, and all I see is Bob Ross turned into Napoleon Dynamite.
I can't put the mustache back on for a little bit. It's too, the hair's
Vote
gone.
for Pedro.
It's gone awry.
That is pretty. That is pretty good. All we need is a dang it.
Kenny, get over here, you fat lord.
Tina, come get some ham.
She's staring.
All right.
She ain't happy that I just called her a fat lord. She's staring me down.
Are we gonna get a flying attack on camera? That'd be something else.
Yeah.
All right, Nolensville Page.
Go to it.
5-5A title at stake there between Nolensville and Page. Page has won 7 of the 8 meetings, and they shut out the Knights 42-0 last year.
These teams have played a couple of classics. Last year was different story. Page was just on a different level. But you go back to the Chance Fitzgerald years at Nolensville and Kobe Belton, not Kobe Belton. But those teams, they were really good, and they had tested Page a lot. Right now, Page is looking. We talked about last year that this is the year Page does it. This to me looks like the best incarnation of Page, where every year it's the offense is really good, defense is okay, defense is really good, the offense is okay. They're good all the way around. And if Nolensville gets a win here, I mean, you got to talk about them as a legit team that can make a real deep postseason run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that nobody's talked about really. Had a chance to get out and see them a couple weeks ago. They're a good football team, man. They were really solid on defense, kind of a bend but don't break kind of defense, and then offensively, they kind of are hit or miss on some things, but they can run the football well at times, and then they have one of the best receivers in the area, in Oliver Bender. And he's one of those type of receivers. He's a bigger kid. He's 6'4", 190-ish pounds. Runs well. Has a flair for the high ball. Jumping up and grabbing one that he shouldn't grab at times, if you know what I mean. But really, really talented team. And we've seen Page a couple times start slow this year. However, they've clearly had the offense this season to overcome that. It's going to be interesting to see if Nolensville can hang around until, let's say, halftime. Does Page start getting a little bit tight? They haven't so far this season when that has happened. But this one means a little more than the other ones have. So it will be interesting to see how both teams react. If Nolensville gets down early, will Nolensville fold or will they, hang in there? It's going to be very intriguing.
Yeah, the Knights have played a lot better since they got beaten week 4 by Blackman. Since then, the defense has averaged only 13.2 points per game. Offense has managed 32. They found their primary back in Tristan Lefmexe. And you were talking about Oliver Bender, and this is a team that could threaten at least, as you were saying, for half of the game, maybe more. And if they go in up at halftime, how Page reacts to getting punched out. We saw that with Indy, and they came back out. They took a punch in the face, and they came back out and gave as good as they got. But they can't live like that. And this is a team that is improving every week, and I think they have the tools that can make it a game if they can keep it close.
Let's head to the borough for this next one. Providence Christian, Middle Tennessee Christian, Division 2A in the East region, at number 1 seed in the first round bye at stake there. Only the third meeting between these two teams. They've split the first two. Providence Christian dominated last year with that 41-7 win.
I don't think we'll have quite that lopsided of a game next year. It feels like PCA is taking that next step forward as a program. MTCS closed out last season riding high, getting some young guys in. But this will be a really good game. If you're in Murfreesboro Friday night, this is the game to go to. It's the only game in town.
Yeah, MTCS with Ali Bangor and Shy Murphy, they run the ball really really well. They don't do a whole lot of passing, so they are kind of one dimensional. But they do good things on special teams. I just think the PCA has they have a lot of a really good talent. They got a 1-2 punch in the backfield with Sean Burkhofer and Porter Deadman. Nate Lamb at quarterback. They got a really good receiver, also a good special teamer. So I think this is, like you said, Joe. I think this one's a little bit closer than last meeting, and I do think it's going to come down to who turns the ball over and who takes advantage.
Yeah, I think this one has the potential to be a shootout. I think both teams are can't even get it out. There you go. Susceptible to the big play at times. I thought that we had a chance. Me and Scott got to see Providence Christian earlier this season against Cannon County, and while Cannon County didn't convert on all of them, they did convert on a couple of really really big long passes. They had a couple of plays earlier in the game that were just near misses that probably are touchdowns if they're able to get them completed, which is that's a testament to Cannon County for sure, as they're a good 2A team. But the Providence Christian team offensively is pretty young. Nate Lamb's just a sophomore. We talk about how good he is, but he's just a sophomore. He's going to continue to grow. But Zayden Ronner and some of those weapons that they have outside and in special teams could play a huge factor in this one.
Yeah, the only game in Murfreesboro Friday night, and it happens to be the one that I will be going to as well. So we'll see you all over there. Make sure don't give me too hard of a time. But let's back up a day. Riverdale and Oakland battle the borough. It's Oakland's region to win, but if chaos happens, then they could slip out of that number one spot. But Riverdale is going to be third otherwise. Riverdale 33-26 leading the series all time. Oakland won a barn burner last year in the quarterfinals, 49-46.
Yeah, Oakland's really cut into that lead with the run they've been on the last decade or so. In the regular season, Oakland really no issues in this one. Riverdale turned it around in the postseason. And we talk a little bit about it. You look at what Rockville did to Oakland when they played a couple weeks ago. They were able to throw the ball in Oakland. I know they turned the ball over quite a bit. But if Hampton can get that going against Oakland's defense, play clean football, don't turn the ball over, I think Riverdale's got a shot here, but it's easier said than done. Oakland's just kind of been as dominant as we've ever seen them this year.
Yeah, that Oakland is putting up points, but yeah, Joe, as you touched on, defense is really the star here. Travion Jackson, he's playing out of his mind. 60 tackles. He leads the team in tackles. 16 of those are for loss. He has 8 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 3 recoveries. And he leads a unit that has 6 interceptions, 20 sacks, and has really, truthfully, has most teams not bothering to post their offensive totals. So I can, but Riverdale, they have the offense that if they can do exactly as you said, keep it clean, make some plays, get out in front, could threaten Oakland. And it'll be really interesting. And it's a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game, so you never really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, after seeing Riverdale last week against Rockville, got to see them earlier this year against Blackman. I feel like they've had a ton of growth this year, especially up front. I thought that the Blackman game, they kind of got manhandled up front, at least for the majority of that game. Not that case against Rockville. I thought there was glimpses where Rockville's got 2 really good ends, defensive ends, and there was glimpses where they were in the backfield at times, but that's to be expected to a certain extent. The quick game is going to be imperative here because Oakland will have probably the best front that Riverdale has seen this season. So it's going to be imperative that they get the quick game going with Luke Tritch, with Corbin Reynolds, the screen game and the little short slants and the stuff across the middle to keep those linebackers back. Because if Oakland is bringing the linebackers too, it's a matter of time. It's not if, it's when. If you can keep them at bay and keep their linebackers and Craig Tutt mainly, which plays a Bronco role for them that kind of goes all over the place. If you can keep him from doing whatever he wants to do, you've got a shot. Easier said than done, but that's the key matchup for me is the short game for Riverdale versus that front seven for Oakland.
I've just now realized how versatile that doggone wig is and everything for Joe. Tilt your head back again like that. Put a little light over here. Good. Look,
he's kind of channeling. He's kind of channeling Jim Carrey when he's playing. When he's trying to play that guy going into the bank.
Oh, he's Moses.
Not going to comment.
All right, let's talk about Waverly and Fairview for the 6-3-8 title. Fairview, even if they lose, they're second unless both Sycamore and Harpeth win, which would knock them back to third. Waverly, a 2013 lead in the series all time. Fairview won this one 41-12 last year. That Waverly has turned it around since then.
Yeah, completely different Waverly team than that one last year. But you got to think, man, Fairview's just kind of been a different beast since that loss to Sycamore. Crazy game, obviously. They've turned things around really well. This is one of Coach Hughes' best Fairview teams in some years, I would think. They can play well on both sides of the ball. Waverly, I would assume they're a run-heavy team. That's just kind of what they do. And this game being at Fairview, I like the Yellow Jackets here. We'll get to our picks in a bit. But I really like them to, get that region win here and take home the region title at home.
Yeah. I mean, Waverly is 9-0, undefeated in the region. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Fairview.
No, Waverly. Waverly's 9-0, 5-0 in the region. Fairview's a team, like I said, they have that head scratcher a little bit to Sycamore in a really, really close 1-point game. They've also got a loss to a Centennial team that at the time was putting up 50 on everybody. They were losing some of those, but that doesn't matter. This is the type of game where I think Fairview has played a little bit of a tougher schedule, and Waverly has played a ton of close games. I don't know if y'all have looked at their schedule or not, but they've played a ton of one-score games, which could be an advantage in a game that what I expect to be a pretty close game. Another advantage in a close game is being at home. So that's going to be a huge advantage for Fairview. And what have you done for me lately, right? So Fairview, since that Sycamore loss, as Chris mentioned earlier, has played really, really well. So, this is a very intriguing matchup, region championship on the line for Fairview. So, and Waverly, but it's going to be interesting to see if the Yellow Jackets can keep up their momentum.
I went back and looked at some of the highlights that Tyson had taken of the game, and Logan Harbison stood out for me from Waverly. The guy is an absolute load. You cannot tackle him high. I watched him carry a kid about 20 yards. I think that they'll want to keep that, exactly as Cam said, on the ground. Keep the ball out of the talented Jax McCoy, the quarterback from Fairview, and Bryson Harrison and Julius Carter. Fairview is going to be really good for the next couple of next 2-3 years. They're very young, but I think Waverly is going to try to keep the ball away, keep this on the ground. If they can do that, then they'll win this game.
Let's go about White House Heritage in Westmoreland. 5-3-8 title at stake there. Even in the series 4-4. Westmoreland won last year's meeting by 22. I don't know that we're going to see that many points, though, in this one.
No, this is going to be a rock fight. I mean, Cam's going to have a front row seat to it. Have fun, Cam. We're all rooting for you.
A rock fight at the rock pile. How appropriate.
Yep, brother, this one might be 7-0. I mean, I say that jokingly, but I'm not kidding. But yeah, both teams this year have just been played very good on defense. Both teams are nowhere near as explosive as they were last year. Westmoreland replacing a once in a decade type player for them and Cooper White, and Heritage, replacing multiple weapons outside. Eric Lopez, Dason Springer, a couple other kids as well. One key for me that I don't know the answer to, if we have a Heritage fan in the chat, maybe you can answer this. Earlier in the year when we saw them play, Kel Hunt was banged up. Not sure if he's back yet or not, or if he will be back. But I think that could be a factor in this game, especially trying to control the line of scrimmage. That's one area where Westmoreland did return some pieces, was up front, and that's what they've leaned on. They've leaned on that, and they've leaned on a physical run game. Old school Westmoreland type football. They're not going to hit you with 40, 50-yard plays. They're going to hit you with 3.5 yards a carry, and here we come. We're doing it again. And you've got to defend it. You got to defend 35, 40 runs a game, essentially. And it's going to be interesting to see how Heritage's front seven holds up to that, and if Heritage can match the physicality and the environment. It's going to be a wild environment at the rock pile. They know exactly what's going on there. It's a region championship game for them. And our small school hater up there, I mean, I know he's never been to the rock pile, probably don't care to go, but
you're a liar.
Yeah, you have.
Yes.
You have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
it's a very, very raucous, wild environment.
Mm-hmm. I went for the East Robertson game a couple of years ago.
Yep. Whitehouse has really kind of changed their entire offense or their entire scheme. It's more defensive now and run oriented. You know who does that and has been doing it for years? Westmoreland. This plays into what the kids playing for Westmoreland have done all their life, what they've seen all their life. It's really Westmoreland has a tremendous, they have a huge fullback that absolutely will drive the pile. It's going to be, rock fight is as good as word as any. It's going to be a tough defensive battle. If you like defense, this is a game for you.
Unrelated to any of this dude for Toronto is freaking dealing right now.
You're savage.
Yeah, he's got 8 strikeouts through 4 innings.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's legit.
Good. Hashtag explicative the Dodgers.
Oh, I say that. It just feels like a twinkle.
Yeah. All right. So
Jinx
with week
him.
11, yeah, exactly. Not one, but 2 spotlight games this week. The first of those tomorrow night, we've got East Robertson and East Nashville. First ever meeting between these two teams, but it's a biggie for the Region 6 2-day title.
I talked to both these teams at the Titans Media Day before the season, and you asked both of them, week 11, what do you guys, how excited are you about that week 11 game? And everyone's eyes just lit up. The players, the coaches. The coaches are, Coach Harris and Coach Brooks are college teammates. This is what we wanted. Both their teams, East Nashville, maybe a little harder route to get there. It is what it is. They're there. They have a chance for the region title against a East Robertson team that started off the year a little rough, but then they've just beat up on mostly everybody since then. So this is going to be a great Thursday night game. Scott, Chris, I'm a little jealous you guys will be there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and this is a matchup where both of these teams have not shied away from scheduling. East Robertson, multiple 5A opponents. East Nashville, Antioch, a couple of what'd you say, Joe?
Collierville.
Yeah, Collierville, a couple other really, really good football teams out of region as well. Springfield. This is going to be a very, very test of wheels, I would say. Both of these teams are used to winning a lot, and what that entails doing the small things very, very well. Not turning the football over, not taking dumb penalties, hitting your assignments. And both of these teams have been doing that the last few weeks. Yes, East Nashville had a rough start to the season. They also are down their best running back in KJ Johnson. But what appears to be Kenny Fuller appears to be full go from what I've seen. And that could be a game changer for the Eagles. Dallas Covington's had a great year carrying the weight of not having KJ and not having Kenny for part of the season. He's probably going to be he's definitely in the conversation, but he's probably going to be a semifinalist at least for Mr. Football, if I had to guess. And rightfully so. And then you look at East Robertson, and East Robertson's got two guys, in my opinion, that are going to be semifinalists for Mr. Football at least, in Cade Brooks and Casey Young. It's going to be fun to watch that East Robertson passing attack, mainly Cade Brooks, which is a legit 4.3, 4.4 guy that has ran 20-plus miles per hour in all 9 games this year, which is crazy to think about. To see him against that East Nashville secondary and some guys like Lanier and a couple of the other guys in the secondary for East Nashville, can East Nashville slow down, try to make East Robertson one-dimensional? Make them pass or make them run. Don't give them both, because if you give them both, you're beat. It's that simple. And then offensively, they got to keep up. They got to try to find a way to get the ground game going to take pressure off of Dallas. And that's going to be hard to do when you got a 4-star, 6'4", 230-pound defensive end in Zach Groves. So going to be a fun one, though, for sure.
Well, going into the season, I don't think that we felt like the Indians would be the scoreboard light-up team when you compare these two. That was you thought East Nashville would be the ones that would break the bulbs on the scoreboard, but boy, it's kind of turned a little bit. East Robertson is actually scoring in bunches in all phases of the game, and that to me just tells how good of a coaching job Coach Brooks has done with this team. Their offense is averaging 33 points a game. Defense is only giving up 10. Casey Young is 65% passer, almost 2,000 yards. The key, though, 21 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's taking care of the football. But on the other side, you look at Dallas Covington, 79% passer, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. He adds another 4 on the ground. He runs very well. I think when you look at these teams, it's going to be the intangibles here. And 2 players I think are going to have an impact. Cade Brooks and his abilities on special teams. Cortez Murphy and his performance on special teams. Those are the wild cards here. And one of them is going to have a big play.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night spotlight game takes us over to Nashville Christian, where Friendship Christian will visit the Eagles to try to take the 2A middle region title and get that first round bye. Friendship Christian 11-8 leading the series, but Nashville Christian has been, dominant lately.
Yeah, Nashville Christian's had 2 close calls this year. They've won both, just doing what they do. We said from the beginning of the year they're the favorite in D2 single A, but Friendship Christian's looking really good. They got a punishing run game. They're going to need to control the ball against Nashville Christian, keep Jared Curtis and TJ Ward off the field. That's easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say, Jared Curtis, TJ Ward, those guys, deservedly so, get a lot of discussion. But Colt McClary, the big defensive end for Nashville Christian, doesn't get a whole lot of talk in the spotlight that is the offense over there for the Eagles. Half of his tackle totals are for loss. He's just a massive disruption of running plays, and he is going to be a huge factor on trying to stop this 1-2 punch that the Commanders have in their running game. I think that's going to be, it's going to be it's going to be trench warfare for Friendship. If they can win the battle in the trenches, they're going to have a chance. But against this defense and against Jared Curtis, being able to throw his quick release, it's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah, this is I could do the keys to the games. There's probably too many of them to mention for friendship, in my opinion. The biggest one, in my opinion, it goes back to the best defense is a good offense, and in this case, you've got to find a way to run the football. You've got to find a way to keep Jerry Curtis and T.J. Ward over there on the sideline. If you do that, you can hang around and you can compete in this football game. If you don't, you're in trouble. So it could be an interesting ball game if Friendship can keep this thing. Easier said than done. If they can keep this thing in the 20s, they got a shot.
All right, that's going to do it for the preview section of this episode. So let's go ahead and make some picks, shall we? Scott, cover your ears.
Yeah, that didn't work. All I did was smash my headphones into my ear.
Oh, well, we tried. Cam's going to want to look at this for a while, but I don't want to think about it.
Job's not finished.
Still fairly tight though, beyond first place. So second through sixth by 5 games, right? Second through 7th by 6 games, which is still plenty of time for a lot of moving.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on to the picks. We'll start with the Battle of the Woods, and Tyson's on brand as always. He's lone wolf in this one, but going with the Bruins.
He has it close though, because that he knows. He's well aware.
Yeah.
I just think Ravenwood's the more complete team. They've shown offensively and defensively they can get the job done. Brentwood's going to have to rely on that defense heavily.
Yeah, they've got to. For me, if Brentwood wants to compete here, they've got to keep it in what I have, the range that I have it. If Ravenwood scores more than 28, I'm just not confident that Brentwood's offense can keep up.
They scored more than 21.
Independence may have given Brentwood a blueprint for staying with them, especially in the first half. If they go back to that film, they might find some answers as to how to keep them within shouting distance, at least for 24 minutes. But beyond halftime, you got to play.
I agree. I mean, to me, the Brentwood is really good defensively, offensively. They can make plays, but I think that right now Ravenwood's offense is just way too potent.
What about Forest and Watertown? Well, we're split 4-4.
This game was tough to pick. I think this is a representation of just how up in the air it is. I'm gonna lean on Forest in their ground game and hope they get me a win that I desperately need.
Yeah, I wish Isaac was on tonight because he could speak to Testament and it would rub it in just a little bit, but that's not why I wanted to say this. But Watertown is no stranger to dealing with a week like what we've had. A lot of rain this week, a lot of wetness on the field. It is a natural surface at Watertown. That's going to slow the run game down a little bit for Forest, especially those big plays that what we were talking about. I do still have this. I have it as a high-scoring game. I do think that it could be full of big plays, but it takes away some of the speed advantage I think Quincy Mitchell may have on Watertown. And Watertown's got a couple guys. Garrett Davis is a pretty decent-sized kid. I think that they can establish a physical run game and win this football game.
Well, Cam, I'm going to take the flip side of that because, quite frankly, I think a wet field actually favors the run game. And for that reason, I went with Forrest and Quincy Mitchell. But I went, as you can see by the score, it was one I was flip-flopping on. This was a very tough game to pick.
I'm going to take the wet field out of it because by the time they get to Friday night and game time, the field's probably going to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it won't be wet.
Yeah, it'll dry out pretty quick. I like
y'all haven't been to Watertown much.
I've been there.
In the name,
I've been there. It's on top of a hill. It'll drain a little bit better than you think. Watertown, I think, is going to try to make this a classic playoff game where you really just kind of grind possessions out and try to cash in wherever you can. And that's really the key when you have a team like Forest that loves that ground game. You have to keep them off the field, and you got to cash in your opportunities. So give me Watertown at home. I think home field advantage plays enough of a role for me to take them with this one.
Yeah.
NBA at Ainsworth. We are all on the Tigers this week, and most by multiple scores.
Yeah, I just kind of trust Ainsworth's offense a little more than NBA's at the moment. I think defensively they can get the job done.
Based on what I'd seen, I think Tim Hasselbeck has just been calling tremendous games for Ainsworth. I think the offense is really the team is really playing within the offense, and for me that kind of mitigates the NBA defense a little bit.
Yeah, Ainsworth so far this season has been a team that whenever they're able to hit their cues, so to speak, and kind of do as they want to do, not necessarily that they're just running free will over their opponent, but if they stay on their game plan, they hit their cues, they're a team that's going to be very, very hard to beat in the postseason. That's how they beat McCauley. You know, they didn't beat themselves. They let the game come to them. They hit their game cues. You know, the first game cue against a team like McCauley and Baylor, hey, let's stick around till halftime. Then it turns into how do we win the football game? And this one, you got to win up front. It's that simple. Ainsworth's been able to do that in almost a lot of games this year, almost all of them. And I think that continues. I think that they bring that physical run game with E.J. Gibson. I think E.J. Gibson has multiple touchdowns in this game. I like Ainsworth to win a physical slobber knocker type football game.
Yeah, it's kind of how I see it going as well. I think E.J. Gibson really does become the key for this one, and getting down toward the end of the season, he's going to be a big key for that Ainsworth offense.
Mm-hmm.
We're all on page over Nolensville as well.
I just think Page is the more complete team. They've shown that all year, even in games where they get hit first, they always rebound. Could I see Nolensville making a game? Sure, but not a lot of teams have been able to crack that Page defense lately. And when the offense is rolling like they have been with the ground game like they have, tough to beat.
Yeah, I think Nolensville was going to have to try to find a way to at least keep Page off balance when Nolensville has the football. They're going to have to run the ball well enough to keep them from just playing deep quarters and deep zone coverage. You know, and that's going to determine what happens up front. And, you know, that's probably the strongest area for Page, defensive line and offensive line. They return almost everybody off last year's team. They've gotten better this year up front. You know, and offensively for Page, they have an extremely physical run game with multiple guys in the backfield that have a little bit different characteristics. They're just a really, really hard team to game plan for and to try to hang around with.
Yeah, I think you said the right word there, Cam. Physical. Page is a very physical team, and I think that in this game, they just out-physical the Knights.
Yeah, I like Nolensville to hang in this for a little while, but I just don't know offensively if they'll be able to keep up with that Page offense. It's been really good pretty much all year long.
Yeah.
O'Connor's going to go after MTCS against Providence Christian. The rest of us are on the lines.
He almost wasn't alone. I originally picked MCCS here. Difference for me, though, is the quarterback play for the Lions. I think they're so much better than they were in this game last year. I know MTCS rolled, but I really like what they've done this year. I really like the quarterback play. I think they got the weapons to win a classic potentially.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the key is that PCA is just a little bit more well-rounded offensively. Nate Lambda, you know, he's a tremendous quarterback. Zayden Ronner gives them a dimension on special teams and in the and at wide receiver that I don't know that Middle Tennessee Christian can match. Both teams run the ball extremely well, so I think that the difference will be quarterback play.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun football game. If you're in the Murfreesboro area, all the other Murfreesboro area games are on Thursday. This one's on Friday. head over to MTCS. It's a great place to watch a game. Should be a really, really good football game. I think this one is going to be your old school type football game. There's going to be enough points to keep everybody excited, but not enough points to break any bulbs on the scoreboard. And I think it's going to come down to one of those plays. Either that might be a turnover, that might be a punt return, that might be a kickoff return. Something in this game is going to swing this game for one team or the other. I think it sets up more likely for that to happen for PCA, which is why I went with PCA.
Yeah, I kind of in that boat too. I think there's going to be enough points to keep people happy, but not so many that it keeps me there past 11 o'clock. I think Providence Christian, for me, it's just playing maybe a little bit better overall than TCS, but I love this game to be really close and should be a good one over there in Murfreesboro Friday night. Forward to that one. Speaking of the Borough, we've all got Oakland in the Battle of the Borough tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against Oakland right now. As good as Riverdale's offense can be, I can see Oakland turning them over and capitalizing. Nobody scored a ton of points on Oakland this year. It's hard for me to even put 21 right there just because of how good the Patriots have been.
Yeah, so. just so we're aware, 34 points.
Yeah.
34 points all year, not by one team. 34 points scored on Oakland all year.
Yeah. So
yeah,
hard to pick against the Patriots.
Yeah, I can't pick against them until somebody gives me a reason to.
Yeah, and 14 of those came from against Rockville, and the other 14 came against CPA. So just 3 teams have managed to score against the Patriots this year. Riverdale will look to be the 4th and do a little bit better, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw this one out there. Coach Creasy, you can use this for bulletin board. Riverdale will score.
Oh, okay. All right. He's doing that.
Waverly and Fairview. Camp Joe and Tyson are on Fairview. The rest of us are on Waverly.
Yeah, Waverly's just been playing with fire too much. Way too many close games. Fairview's playing really good right now, and it's at Fairview. There's just too many things pointing towards Fairview here. I think they win a close football game at home.
Yeah, that's another game. Go ahead, Joe.
I just think they're the more balanced team. I think Jackson Coy gives them what they need, and it's going to be – I think it's going to be a great game. Obviously, I have a 1-point game, but I think Fairview being at home, this is kind of the team they've been waiting to have for a couple of years. I think they get the job done.
For me, it was about consistency, and Waverly has been, if anything, consistent. They run the ball extremely well. Fairview has a lot of talent. This one was a tough one to pick. My score has a 3-point differential. So I just think that Waverly's running game and their ability to control the line of scrimmage is going to be the thing that wins out.
I almost went coin flip on this one. For me, it came down to, Waverly's played a lot of close games, but they've won the close games. And when you win the close games, that kind of manifests itself later on. I think they're a team that can just win a close game in this type of environment. And I won't be surprised if Fairview wins. And in fact, it won't shock me at all. I think Fairview's had a really good team, especially in the second half. I saw them against Sycamore, thought they should have won that game, but I kind of need to go a different way. So I'm going with Waverly this week.
Yeah. Mr. November needs to show up.
Yeah. And needs to show up a couple days early too.
Mm-hmm.
White House Heritage of Westmoreland. I'm taking the Eagles along with Scott and Connor.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Yes.
Because I think that their offensive line is going to be the story of this game. I think they win it in the trenches. I think their offense, I think their running game, they've been playing better. I think their running game is getting better, and for that reason, and they're at home.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all, okay? I just said the best defense is a good offense. The best offense for me here is a good defense. I picked Heritage to keep certain people from gaining any ground here. I'll take the loss if it's a loss, but I'm not. This is a 50-50. I'm playing defense here. I could not pick this game.
To me, I look at what Heritage has done this year. They have not scored more than 21 points since August 29th. I don't expect that to continue. I expect that to continue. It's just been a struggle for them offensively. They've been more of a balanced kind of just grinded out type team. And, you can do that and beat Westmoreland, but at the rock pile, it's difficult.
I was so close to picking Westmoreland. And one thing that I considered was the kids that Westmoreland brought back up front. And then I looked at White House Heritage. They've got a ton of seniors up front too. And they've got a senior quarterback that has he been what he was last year? No, he hasn't. He doesn't have the weapons that he had last year, but he's still got a little bit of that little pun here, a little bit of that X factor. And I think that he could be the difference in this ball game.
Yeah, I agree. Before we go to the next one, this is the one everybody's waiting for us to pick for what it's worth.
Yeah, this one was definitely tough, and we'll get to our special guest picks after both of the spotlight games to let you know how they pick. But we'll do this one first. East Robertson and East Nashville, and Isaac's lone wolf in this thing. He's got the Eagles close, and the rest of us are on East Robertson. But I think we all have agreed this one's going to be fun.
Yeah, I flip-flopped back and forth on this one, and to me, it comes down to East Nashville. The East Nashville has played a gauntlet of a schedule, but East Robertson's schedule has also been brutal. The Indians have passed every test. I saw them. To me, I picked this game when I saw them beat Kirkwood back on September 19th. It's one of those things where I saw them face adversity. Case and Young led them down the field, picked up a big road win against a really good 5A team. Would I be shocked if East Nashville won? No. But I like the Indians here. Spoilers, they're my favorite in 2A to win state this year. It is what it is. But if East Nashville wins, would not be shocked at all. But hey, Isaac may be the mayor of Nashville for a week, and good for him.
Possibly.
Yeah, this one is going to be extremely fun. Two really good quarterbacks, that I believe should be at least semifinalists up for Mr. Football. I do think that potentially one of them could make a very, very, very strong case to be Mr. Football with a good performance in this game. So it could be the clincher, so to speak. But super jealous of Scott and Chris getting to go out and watch this one. This one's going to be really, really fun. This one shouldn't be affected by the weather because of the turf field being at East Nashville. You're going to get to see speed on speed on speed and some physicality up front. East Nashville has been pretty good up front as well. So it's going to be interesting to see which team can do what they do better. So to speak. East Nashville wants to be very, very balanced. They want to get Kenny Fuller out in space. East Robertson wants to be balanced. They want to get Cade Brooks out in space. So which one of those teams can do that more often, and which one of those teams make less mistakes is going to win this football game?
Yeah, I think this is one of the few teams that East Nashville plays that can match them pretty much speed for speed. And because of that, I think I leaned a little bit more towards East Robertson. They've been playing pretty much complementary football most of the year. And I think that East Nashville's had to overcome some injuries here and there, some definite bumps in the road. To me, Zach Groves is going to be a big factor in this game. Can he get pressure on Dallas Covington? Can he force him into mistakes? Can he force the offensive line to get false starts? I think that's going to be the key. Now, if East Nashville comes out and plays, doesn't turn the ball over, and plays very disciplined football, yeah, East Nashville could win this game and win it pretty doggone well. But I think that East Robertson right now is just playing the most consistent ball.
And I think you could. I know we've talked about the weapons out in space, and we've talked about Zach Groves. Don't be surprised if East Robertson tries to line up in power and run the football right at East Nashville. with potentially Zach Groves at running back. So don't be surprised if you see that.
East Nashville wants Christian Scott to know that they don't want an apology for what it's worth. They said stay on the East Robertson sideline. My X
Fair
factor, my X factor for this game. I know we talk a lot about Zach Groves, and rightfully so. Kanye Prince could be in for a big night.
Yeah,
because
he could.
Everything's they're gonna factor in on Zach, and for Kanye Prince is a damn good football player.
For me, if I had a nickel for every time I had to flip a coin to get a winner, I'd have it in one nickel. That's what I did this week.
Yeah.
Is that Zeke's little brother, maybe?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, it boils down to this. East Nashville, in that 4-game winning streak, has not beaten a team with a winning record. They are 0-4 against teams with winning records this year. They want to try to break that streak, and I think they can definitely do it. But East Robertson's just played so good, and it's just hard to go against them right now. But I left it up to a nickel. I flipped a coin, and it came heads. So I'm taking East Robertson. It's that simple.
I also think this is a matchup where East Nashville, for the first time in a while, they're facing a second, or especially on the offensive side, they're going to be facing a secondary just as good as their wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be speed on speed on speed everywhere. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a track meet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's our game of the week, especially for tomorrow night, and for good reasons. And excited to get over there to East Nashville for this one. It ought to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
On Friday night, our spotlight game, that will be Friendship Christian and Nashville Christian. We have all taken the Eagles this week in that matchup.
Yeah.
Friendship
gives up points. They've given up points this year. That's not something you can do against Nashville Christian. It's going to be tough for them. And I know offensively they have the weapons, but Nashville Christian's a different beast.
Now, we say that, yes. Friendship has given up a ton of points. Nashville Christian, in their closer games this year against Tyner and against Innsworth, which both of those teams are extremely talented, and I'll even say that they have more weapons than Friendship, because they do. Both of those games, we saw Nashville Christian give up a ton of points. They still found a way to win those games. You have to somehow. This is the only way you're going to beat Nashville Christian with this team. You have to keep this thing in the 20s. You have to. It's got to be a 28-21 game. It's got to be.
I thought he was going to say, you got to cut their tires.
No.
I mean,
you got to have somebody play with the play clock and turn it into a 60-second play clock instead of a 40-second play clock, and you still snap it on one. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what kills me is that, you never know what's going to run out first, the electricity to the scoreboard with Nashville Christian, or the number of adjectives we're all using to describe their offense. They are just that good. Coach Brothers has, he's got himself a program there that a lot of people would be jealous of, and has, the best quarterback probably in the Southeast. It's just, Friendship is a really, really good team, but they're running into a team that has already proven that they can play at a division or two above.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Cavan and Coach Lowe can do on the defensive side of the ball for Friendship. Can they, teams have tried everything in the world to game plan for Nashville Christian. Nobody's figured it out yet. Don't think that you can figure it out to a certain extent. You can just try to limit it. Do you want TJ to be the one carrying the ball, or do you want Jared slinging it around? It's not a fun result either way. You've got to pick one, and you've got to choose correctly, and you still cannot afford to have any errors.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, let's get to our picks for those two spotlight games from these guys.
First of our spotlight games this week is East Nashville against East Robertson. And we are waiting on which cat we'll actually choose, because the Halloween cats are both down here now. However, neither has discovered that the snacks are out. Snack! He can dang near dip his tail in it.
Working with animals and children.
All right. And Butch has made his decision. Butch has chosen, they both have chosen the Indians of East Robertson. Doubleheader this week, as we also have on Halloween Friendship Christian at Nashville Christian. And our cats will be picking shortly. And Sonny is going and he's looking it over. And Sonny has chosen Friendship Christian, it looks like. Yep, he is going with the Commanders. The Halloween cats have made their picks.
I think the only thing that would have made even better is if they had been split on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been. But Butch is he's a diva. Do we throw Matt a bone on Beach Hendersonville?
Beach.
Yeah, Matt, that's
Yeah, there you go.
pretty much what we would all have done.
Have
there.
they scored less than 40 since the Green Hill game?
Yeah, East Nashville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only
But-
one actually. Every other last 6 games they've scored 40 plus, or last
Hendersonville's-
5. Excuse me.
It's that simple.
Hendersonville's playing better, but you're going up against DK Williams. That running game is going up against DK Williams and
Yep.
and company. I think that it's definitely Beach in this case for the Battle of Drakes Creek.
Well, we said it'd be a loaded show, and we're almost at 9:00 now. So let's get some final words to wrap it up. All right, Bob Ross.
Yeah. Into the Hive episode 4 is out now. Please go watch it. I worked very, very thoroughly on that episode, and it's actually means a lot, especially as somebody coming from a military family like myself. And as for the love to hate, Isaac will be at Smith County and Gordonsville on Thursday. If you are related to either program, please go talk to him. He's looking for more people to talk to for interviews. He's wanting to hear all about this rivalry, what makes it special. I'm assuming he's going to get out there early. Outside of that, enjoy week 11. Remember, if we didn't pick you, obviously we hate your program. That's what it means. But more than anything, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. And that includes our picks.
Yeah, I'm going to read just a little brief lyric here. It's from a country music song called 5 More Minutes, if you're interested. It says, at 18, I turned my helmet in and walked to the 50-yard line. Just the coach and me after we lost 18-9. And he cried, next time I'll get in here, I'll have to buy a ticket. Can't you give me 5 more minutes? Guys, 5 more minutes is about to happen. Yes, there will be teams going to the playoffs, but there's a ton of high school football careers and football careers in general that will end in the next 24 and 48 hours. Keep that in mind. Don't act a daggum fool, and understand. Yeah, kids are going to cry. Kids are going to be emotional about it. Forever, in the movies they say forever is about to happen. That's not the truth, but it will stick with you forever. Forever is whatever you make it. But enjoy these 5 minutes because they will be gone and you will want them back if you do not treat and act accordingly and respect those 5 minutes and enjoy them, cherish them. And for me, I know the other guys feel the same way. For those guys that have participated throughout the last few years and stuff in sports, and your career ends tomorrow night or Friday night, thank you. We appreciate it. It's been a joy. We enjoy covering you guys, and we hope that we've helped maybe make a picture or a memory that sticks with you for a lifetime.
Yeah, a couple things. First off, we still are looking for a sponsor for the Coach of the Year awards. There are 3 awards. If you have any interest at all, right now we're asking $500 for the 3 awards for small, medium, and large class. If you have any questions, 615preps@gmail.com or reach out to me. But that's where we are with that. And we also are looking for Blue Cross Bowl sponsor, and also looking for postseason sponsor, which is coming up next week. So if you want to get in, thank you, Chris. The second thing is just real quick, our thoughts and prayers are out with the people in Jamaica and in Cuba and all those families affected by the hurricane down there. You never know when it's going to hit you, and just hug your kids, hug your family, because you never can tell.
That's well said. I'm going to piggyback off of something Cam said just a minute ago. Players, this is for you. If you're not going to be in the playoffs, and there's a lot of you who may not, tomorrow night or Friday night, whenever you play, before that game starts, just take a moment and take a breath and let that feeling hit you. Remember how it feels, because those moments are moments you can't get back. They're there and then they're gone. And it's a feeling you're going to want to remember for the rest of your lives. So play in the moment, play for the guy next to you, play for the name on the front, not the one on the back. And most importantly, empty the tank, because tomorrow's not promised. Next week's not promised. Empty the tank. You do that, nobody can take it away from you, no matter what the scoreboard says. And with that, that's all I got. Thank you so much for... Actually, Bob, you're still painting the picture. You done with that yet?
It never ends.
Real quickly before we get out of here, because the playoffs start next week, we're going to have a bigger show Saturday morning with a lot of bracket talk and getting ready for the postseason. So wake up a little earlier, get your coffee a little earlier, join us at 8 o'clock. We're going 8 o'clock on the button, and we'll have a loaded show with highlights and scores and all that stuff. We'll talk brackets and playoffs like we usually do at this time of year, an hour earlier. So get ready for that and send your alarm. But that's it. That's it for us for 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks. For all of us here, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you guys on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And then also wherever game you might be at tomorrow night or Friday night, say hello to us. Y'all take care. Enjoy the games this weekend. And there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents.
Bundle up.